I'm Fatsa Williams, and I play for women's soccer.
I'm Ulda Joaquin, and I play for the women's basketball. I'm from Mozambique, and I came to the States like 4 years ago. And my first year here was like a really big shift, like culturally, because everything was just different, and I felt different when I came here because of how people are and how they approach to stuff and how they treat each other. Like, for example, like discrimination, like racism is not a common thing where I'm from. Like, I came here, and I think there was like a big emphasis on like on colors, like, oh, black community, and then there was like why. That was really confused to me.
With me, like, I come from gangs and stuff, so I'm Mexican and half black.
Okay.
And I come from kind of closer to, like, the border area, like, down south New Mexico. And for me, like, for my culture and things like that, like, I started getting tattoos when I was, like, 15. So I had, like, an arm sleeve, leg sleeve. And so, like, yeah, like, coming outside, like, our bubble, people are like, wow, like, why would you do that? Like, it's weird, like, you know? So I, like, experience it not to maybe a degree that you do, but, like, it's, like, people really do be looking at you kind of sideways.
Yeah.
Because they're, like, yeah, that's not our society norms.
Yeah, I know. Especially, like, I'm black and I'm coming from Africa. A lot of people thought that, like, I didn't know how to use a phone. I didn't know how a Wi-Fi works. I didn't know how... I had people that asked me, do you have... grocery stores in your, like, where you're from? I had a lot of people, especially white people, you know, asking me those questions. Like, I thought, I was like, why are you asking me these stupid questions? I was like, why you ask me that? But, like, after, like, 2 years, I was like, maybe not everybody knows about African community because, like, I think everybody just think that, like, Africa is just... like, there's no cities, like, it's all like rural, poverty. They all think about Africa like that, but it was not like that. But like first, I was like, that is not okay. I was like looking at people like sideways, but then I was like, it's just their culture. Like, I'm gonna have to get used to it, you know.
Yeah.
But I got hurt when I came. Like, why, you know?
Yeah, I think too we like lack that dialogue. Like, we're not allowed to be, like, transparent. Like, even like that, like, we came and I didn't really know what this video was about. I was just like, I'm down,
I know.
anything. But, like, now knowing that, like, we're like, oh, we have to talk about racism. Like, everyone's like, we don't want to get canceled. Like, we can't talk about our race or where we grow. So it's like, if we had that open dialogue to be like, hey, like, normally the only videos I see about your culture or Africa or wherever you come from is like this. Like, is this true? Like, what do you have?
Yeah.
Like, I think we need to, like, to start that racial healing is by, like, being open.
Yeah.
Just to be like,
having open conversations.
Is this true? What I see on the news, is this true? Like,
I know.
Because I'd be lying if I sat here and be like, I know everything about Africa. Like, no, like, that, what I see is the, like, starving kids, things like that. But that's all they show us.
That is true.
So if I'm, like, open and be like, hey, like, as an African-American woman coming from out of the country, like, how is your life? Like, just to start there.
Yeah, I would be way more comfortable. I feel like my life would be way more free when I came to the States if I had people that ask me questions like that. Like, how do you feel? Like, how's Africa? Instead of, like, assuming things or, like, make conclusions about Africa is just poverty.
I think that sense of belonging. Like, for example, like, we have a girl on my team. She comes from... Her family comes from, like, Africa, and she's African-American. So, and a topic of our team's always about hair. Like, we're always trying to learn how to braid hair, do hair and stuff. And over half the team wears bonnets now because of her. And she's like, silk's so good. I don't care what your hair texture is. Like, culturally, it's good and stuff. So I think that's, like, so important just to be inclusive. Like, it's so sad that it is something that matters. Because, like, I just met you, and I'm like, wow, this is awesome. Like, let's keep talking.
I
like,
know.
So I think it's just so important to cause a lot of, like, just equality and justice, peace, just by talking about it.
Yeah, I feel like the world would be way better if we did that, for sure.
Do you think, like, coming to the States and, like, just joining a sports team has helped you feel, like, welcomed?
At first, Not really. But then I think my teammates, they grown on me. Like I learned about them, I learned their experiences, and I learned to like adjust to them. So like I would say after my freshman year, everything was just getting better because I was learning how to, to adjust, how to approach to everybody. But I feel like one of the biggest thing for me, it was like um how I approach to people, like my hospitality. Like I learned, I was raised to be to treat everybody equal. I was raised to not be mad to people. Like even my teammates, they always said, "I never seen you mad." Like I'm not gonna be mad because like I'm not gonna treat you, even if you say something like that maybe gonna make me mad. Like I'm not gonna be mad at you. I was raised to be good to people, treat people good, and regardless of how they treat me. So I think that's one of the biggest things that like helped me getting along with everybody.
I think that's too is like how people are raised. Like today, like even on this paper, it talks about like for parents.
Yeah.
So to parents start racial healing is for them to be a good role model for their children. Like that, like my parents had to deal with a lot of that when they're in and out of prisons and things like that. So then for us, they're like, no matter how bad people treat you or the bad things they say, the racism, discrimination, like don't ever treat someone that way.
Exactly.
Especially because firsthand we know what it's like to be a minority woman, and now we have to deal with it. So then what's the point of us treating this people the same way? Like it's never going to get better. It's never going to even start the process. Because then it's just going to be a negative plus a negative. That's never going to equal a positive.
That is true.